Hello everybody, I have decided to do a separate daily videos for crypto going forward. I will be mainly talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and as more coins come up, you guys can comment and I can analyze them. But there's a lot of interest in crypto, so let's going forward move and we'll do a daily separate videos on crypto and we'll do a regular market updates separately. Okay, all right. So Bitcoin, where we are now. Okay, so this is Bitcoin futures. Okay, and you can see there is a big gap here. First of all, here are these cycles you can see in white line. I'm expecting Bitcoin to bottom here around sometime in June, July, mainly early July time frame. Okay, and you can see we are still a bit early in this cycle. Okay, so it's possible so I am expecting overall broad market to have some upside, especially in S&P 500. So I think what I'm expecting from here is a little bit more upside on crypto. All right. So although there are some concerning indicators here, first of all, you can see what's happening on PPO. This is called PPO and this is RSI. So on PPO, you can see what's happening here. Bitcoin is making higher highs. You can see first high, second high, third high, but PPO is not able to go. So usually if in a bullish move, I would like to see PPO also making higher highs. I would like to show you an example here, what I mean by that. You can see here, for example, Bitcoin is going higher, PPO is going higher, all right? And also we can look at some other previous here. You can see also here, here's a good example, okay? So you can see price is going higher, PPO is going higher, but then price was going higher here and then PPO started turning bearish. RSI was also turning bearish and then we got a dump, all right? And then we got a pump. So when we got a pump, you see what happened here. We got a pump here, RSI and this was a high here. There was no divergence, but look what happened. We got a little bit dump and then we got a new high. You can see a new high in November 21, but PPO was lower, okay? And RSI was also lower. So it was a basically negative divergence, negative momentum on PPO and RSI. Okay, so because of that, we got a dump. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting now here. So look at again, zoom in a bit. You can see based on what I showed you before. Now price is going higher with lower momentum. Now one thing to note, this is not confirmed. So what does confirmation means? Confirmation means this green line should cross the red line. Okay, you see what happened here in the past here. You can see here as soon as green line crossed red line, as soon as red line is stopped, that means it's up time to sell. As soon as green line is above red line, that means it's time to buy. Okay, so even if we just do with that, just follow that strategy, you can see red line cross green line, so we got a dump here. All right, although we got a really small move up, but then again it crossed again. You can see if I zoom in a bit, you can see here green line was never able to cross red line, okay, until here. All right, so if you would have sold here, you would have saved a lot of money here, and then when it crossed, you could have bought here, and now we are above higher here. Okay, also RSI is giving a sell dot here. You can see here I got a sell dot here very close to just before this crossover. That was an indication to sell. Again here you can see sell dot. Again now we're getting a sell dot. Okay, now where do we go from here? What I do expect a little bit bounce. I don't think it's going to dump down, right? So one other thing to note, on basically futures chart, this is CME futures, you can see there is a gap here. So basically what happened on Friday, we closed around 20,300, and then on Monday we opened around 21,295. So it was a big gap created by CME futures. Now gaps are always filled. I will give you an example. What do you mean? So you can see this gap was created here. It got filled. There was same thing happened. Friday we had a close, and then on Monday we opened gap up, and then you can see it had to come down to close this gap. Okay, so something similar is what I'm expecting. Very similar to this. So exactly we had a gap up. So you can see we can have a little bit dump, and then we can have same thing like this. Okay, if we let's see if I can find that tool here. Basically bars pattern. Let's see if it works out. Haven't used it properly before, so let's try this. Okay, so if I take these patterns here, right, let's see. So we had a gap up here. Okay, let's try this. So something like this. Okay, this this is quite possible, all right? So what that means is this can basically this can extend because I'm expecting a cycle low coming here. So it can go like it's not coming out very nicely here. Let me see if I can do this, something like that. Okay, you can see what I'm trying to tell you here. Okay, let me zoom this down a bit. So if I move this here, and if I try to put something like this, okay, and imagine this, this bar. Imagine this bar is coming here to close the gap, okay? So you got the idea, right? What I'm trying to say here. So it's very similar to what could happen here. I think if I put this down a bit, something like this, okay? Imagine this, okay? So what I'm telling you, so basically every cycle usually have two other minor cycles in between, okay? So if I extend this bottom to, let me again try to move this here, something like this, okay? So it's quite possible we can have this, okay? So like a chop zone. So we had a gap up, and then basically now we'll just chop around, and then in this huge cycle, if I go to weekly, I'm just taking some more time here to make you guys understand better. So if I go to weekly, okay, so this is what I'm trying to tell you on weekly. So I'm expecting another bottom here. So what can happen is within these cycles there could be two minor cycles, all right? So let me quickly show you if I can try to project it. Let's go here. Okay, so it's quite possible we can have a time cycle like this within a weekly cycle, okay? This is also possible, all right? So what that means, actually it works out perfectly here. If I go to daily chart, just to show you guys, zoom in a bit, sorry, and you can see how nicely it's coming out, okay? This is the idea, right? So there are other two cycles here, and then this is going to work out perfectly. So basically, right now we are here, okay? So we can get a little bit pump, then dump now here near May, sometime early May to mid-May, then another pump, and then dump here, okay? So basically you can see here what's happening in July time frame. There are two cycles coming to the bottom, okay? So there are two cycles which are coming very close to the bottom together. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of pressure in June-July time frame around here to basically buy Bitcoin. Okay, so a lot of pressure to sell here. So if you are holding Bitcoin, you can keep holding for next basically pump. But if you're my regular subscriber, you know I told everybody to buy here around 20K, and I told everybody exactly to sell here. So basically there could be some more upside coming because I'm expecting some more upside in broader market, S&P 500, 100 and Nasdaq. So it's possible we can touch this 31K zone, and then there will be a little bit dump here. Again, we go and pump, and then eventually this will be the buy zone around summertime. So that's something which I'm really looking forward to buy at that time. Okay, that's my ideal situation for Bitcoin. So let me quickly save this so I can have, this is actually a very good situation here. So yeah, okay, so let's quickly review it again. Basically what I'm expecting here is, you can see this green line, okay? This is the line I'm expecting, basically a pump, okay? Actually there could be now we have another cycle here. What you can do is you can let me get the right tool. You can yeah, so what I'm expecting here is basically now basically a little bit chop, all right? Basically from here till April, kind of chop around a bit, maybe go here, maybe have a little bit dip here around in May, all right? And then again, little bit pump here, all right? And then eventually fill this gap, all right? Sorry, this did not. So it is quite possible, just be aware, it is quite possible, okay, that this 20K can fill here, all right? Now, depending on how much pump we get, I don't think we will reach here, but worst case, it is possible. It is possible we could even go there if Bitcoin really decides to do a massive short squeeze, okay? So if we decide to go there, it's going to be from here upside of almost 28%, okay? So I don't advise people to short here. I just want people to take profits and then leave the profit, leave the high, like take your initial amount out and leave it running, like all the profit amount, leave it running for an upside here, okay? So again, this is a big resistance zone, 31K. You can see here a lot of confluence here, and there was a gap here. If I zoom in a bit, I showed you guys other guys before. There was a big gap here around 28K. This was filled. This was filled almost a week ago, and now there's a big resistance. It's not going to be easy to break this resistance, okay? And then there's also another gap here around 35K, okay? That's what I meant by gap fill. If you see here, there's another gap here, okay? So it is possible. So eventually all gaps will be filled, but it has to break 31K first, all right? So that's my overall take on Bitcoin. And then Ethereum, same thing. If I go to futures, you can see there's a massive gap here on Ethereum, all right? So same thing, you can do like a cycle analysis. And one thing to note, 1700 is a huge support for Ethereum. This is 1700 zone here, huge support here, all right? So it's not going to be easy to break. Already today, a couple of days ago, we had a dip down, then we found support yesterday, and now we are almost hanging in there. So basically, I'm expecting Ethereum to hang around here and then eventually fill this gap, probably June, July timeframe. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting. So also let's quickly take a look at the futures. Actually, on futures, if you look at PPO, we already had a crossover, right? Already had a crossover, and also we got a sell signal. Okay, so that's not a good news. But since I'm expecting some bullish news on some bullish moves on S&P 500, I think we still have time for dump. Okay, so if you're holding, keep holding. Eventually, we'll get a pump in April. Okay, April to May, and that's the time you should be looking to sell. This big sell zone 31K is a good time to sell in this area. Okay. Okay, guys, that's my update, and we'll have a quick review tomorrow on how it goes. Have a good day, and please like and subscribe my video and share with your friends and family if you find this video very useful. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.